That's right, a little bit of turn of experience coming out of L&D Monster, and that does show, and it weighs a lot in SWC. But have that tournament experience is very, very important. You can always tell that tournament experience when it comes to this draft phase right here. When people are second-guessing a lot of their picks, they should already know. And there you have it. Neither one of these players want to have to deal with Oliver.
If I can't have him, you can't have him. That's exactly what they just said to each other. They didn't even want to take that risk because it's so important to both of their comps. Both of these players, like we saw in their most picked, have been using Oliver so much. So it's important. It's more important to deny them than try to vie for that on turn one. And it looks like Shizuka for FH is what he walks down first.
Yep, FH locking in that Shizuka first pick. Shizuka not signaling first or second here. I think Shizuka is a great first pick. Really, really powerful. And that's where we've got LD Monster. He's going to have to show what he's doing here. And we're going to get a Gianna Nana coming out of LD Monster.
That's a pretty strong opener. Oh my word. Light Battle Angel, baby.
That's wild. Like, you play a Gianna, I'll play a Veronica. Like, holy cow.
Wow. I think, and they locked it in. That is amazing. Is this the first Veronica that's being picked in SWC?
Ooh, yeah, I'm not too sure if it is the first, but it might be. It might have been the dark one that we've seen before. That might have been EU that I saw a dark one pop out in.
Yeah, I know for a fact that we've seen the dark one. The dark one's crazy because the dark one features Oblivion, am I right?
That is correct. Ooh, L&D Monster bringing the Yanhong and the Changpeng to the table here.
Nice choices from LD Monster. I love the Yanhong. This is just a lot of utility from the side of LD Monster. Just a lot of generally really solid units. And notably, everybody sans the Nana strips, which is great.
Yep, definitely. I mean, those defense are going to be available there for LD Monster. And very, very turn 2 plays here with the Juno and Molly as last picks. Now, I know Mosh is the only kill potential here. That is almost signaling that the Nana has to get removed because there's not a lot of kill potential if you remove that Masha from the field. I don't know how they're going to take orbs away.
That's right, yeah, Masha's going to be probably the only burst damage potential in this whole category because even though there are bombs here, we don't know how much attack Shizuka has on her. But I love this comp that FH has kind of assembled here where they can lead with the Veronica to open everybody up for Shizuka to place debuffs on. And there he is, Kitian Dasheng to close out the draft, that light monkey king.
Yep, that's a really, I really like the draft of LD Monster here. He wants his turn, he wants it now. He doesn't want FH to take a single turn here. We'll see what happens. I know that Juno can pose a big issue for him, but maybe that might be the ban out here, and then he'll just do away with the Masha, because there's nothing here that's going to be saving it, except the potential healing and sustain coming out of the Molly, which is now gone.
Yeah, now he's more likely to land all the effects that he's trying to do. And I just want to throw out how important that Light Monkey last pick was. We all know he's so strong, so we don't need to stand on it for so long, but he was really missing something to do with all the strips. We had already said he had 3 strips. He needed something. Here we go, guys. Game 1.
Well, Veronica is going to be kicking it off here. We're going to see some big stuff out of this Veronica. Well, at least we're hoping to see some big stuff.
And it looks like we see some pretty big stuff just getting a res on the Nana. I don't think there were any other reses unless I missed them. But that was a pretty strong start. Again, she strips and increases cooldown time by 2 on everybody. So that means, for more or less, FH has pretty much decided how L&D Monster is going to be playing these opening turns.
Yeah, that's really big right there. Able to keep all those skills back. Beautiful stuns going out to the entire team of L&D Monster. Keeping that Gianna back. Gianna's going to be the first unit removed from the field. It will come back with a non-passive. This should be enough damage to take care of it, and it is. Lots of stuns going out. Oh, stuns going out on the Changpeng.
Oh my goodness, FH. I love this, and I really do like the play of not holding on to Shizuka's third skill for too long. I really do feel like sometimes it can be tempting to try to accrue more value before you bust out that third skill, but it's more important to do exactly what we just saw. Deny turns, get an early kill while they're still on cooldown.
Yeah, I wonder if L&D Monster just thought he was fast enough. Net Veronica came in here and just left his jaw wide open with that one. You can see a nice little first kill going on in Juno. I'm not too sure if L&D's got enough in the tank to take care of any of these units here.
We are truly seeing some fun gameplay here from FH with the Veronica. I really like what he set up with the draft here. I thought that was pretty awesome.
That was a very fast Veronica, shutting Light Monster down. FH, the newcomer, taking a round 1 victory. And I think L&D Monster has first pick going into this round here.
Yeah, so we can probably anticipate the Oliver being... Oh, and there it is, another trauma pre-ban, like we said earlier. You see the Veronica once, you don't want to see her again, at least for a little while.
Yep, well, Veronica's going to get pre-banned. Shizuka getting pre-banned here, and I believe an Oliver first pick out of Light L&D Monster is probably what's going to happen, and that's what happens.
Absolutely, yeah, it's like we've been talking about. You don't even want to give FH the chance to do that. Nana and stealing the Nana then. I almost skipped over that. They took that away from L&D Monster. Shifting to a turn 2 maybe, but the Masha is still pretty fast.
Yeah, potential turn 2 here. Masha is able to get those orbs back here. We're going to see a little bit more damage coming out of FH, so he wants to make sure that he gets those orbs here. Now, because that Oliver's already picked here, I want to say he's going to keep going with the turn 1. We might see the Gianna, might see the Light Monkey King coming out of him. Maybe not right here. Possible Chung Pung, though.
Good call, Stoic. Yeah, I think Gianna Chung would be great. Gianna, wow. Okay, Gurkha.
There's a Gurkha.
Okay, Gurkha. Great. Didn't know that we had that option available at the moment. That's awesome.
Well, when you got a pocket pick like a Gurkha, sometimes you just got to put it down.
Yeah, we had a video on the channel recently, the most impactful draft picks, and Once in Love put Gurkha pretty high. I believe he landed at number 1. On that, actually, because it totally changes the way you approach your draft. You kind of gotta deal with it or think about banning it, and it looks like FH has adapted really well with the Juno and the Molly pick.
Yeah, Juno and the Molly. He brought it last time. Clearly it worked out very, very well for him. A lot of sustain for his team. L&D Monster looking to lock in a Tessarian, so that Tessarian signals that he doesn't want to see a Tessarian as a 5th pick coming out of FH here. And the Tessarian obviously being really good against the 2 passive units. Well, there's 3 passive units that we see on this. 4! I'm sorry, there's 4 passive units on this field right now. Tessarian's great.
It just keeps growing. Just keeps growing. There's all 4 of them are passive units. Now, so here's the thing. FH needs to decide, does he want to deny the Tessarian now by banning it or bring something to burst it down? And I don't think that a Fire Robo is actually going to be able to burst it down. So he's just banning it. Good call.
Yeah, definitely a big ban right there on the Tessarian for sure. You know, I really appreciate FH here. He was able to entertain us with the Veronica, and he's looking to entertain us with the Fire Robo. Let's stay entertained as we get into this round 2 between L&D Monster and FH.
Are you not entertained? I definitely am. Thank you, FH, for catering to me as a viewer, not just a caster, because this is pretty entertaining so far. Love seeing the Fire Robo out here, gaining 50% attack bar whenever someone gets an additional turn.
Yep, that's going to be really, really impactful here because there's going to be a lot of additional turns coming out of that Gurkha. So there's all the sleeps landing right there. Obviously, Juno's going to be healing the team up. Nice Despair Stun sitting on top of the Nana, and Oliver's going to be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, there we go. Nice defense break and provoke coming out. Folks in chat are also quick to reference how good of a pick that Fire Robo is here, considering that Oliver takes a ton of turns. The oracles all cycle. Gianna has a built-in additional turn, so it's a super efficient pick here.
It really is, but you could tell that with that defense break sitting on top, it's not going to be around for much longer, and I think L&D Monster wants to get rid of that thing as soon as possible. Nice little provoking bomb is going to be helping get rid of that Nana as well. Looking to push back the attack bars of the Nana. He's going to be controlling a lot of units on FH's side of the field.
Wow. Yeah, so much control coming out from L&D Monster right now. And Gurkha just deciding what people do with the provokes, making it so they don't have a chance. And it looks like this might be a good opportunity to just secure the kill on Fire Robo if he wants, or maybe go for a dismount on Masha. Looks like he goes for the latter.
Yeah, he's looking for that dismount right there so he doesn't have to worry about that second skill coming out there. Because if the immunity is up, Gurkha's not going to be able to do Gurkha things against that, against the Masha there. But the provoke's going to land on top of the Fire Robo. So Fire Robo's going to get stuck in that limbo once again. So he's going to be gaining all that attack bar for nothing, though, because it has to go up against this Gurkha.
All for naught. You're so right, Stoic. All for naught. He's got nothing to do with it. All the attack bar in the world and nothing to do. Secures a kill on Gianna, but by this point, Gianna was partially optional. The best thing about this, though, is that it does put a Soul Stone back on Nana. So now all of a sudden, L&D Monster is going to have to navigate that again.
Yep, definitely. Looking for the attack bar pushback to keep his units alive there. Doesn't get it. But we can secure kill onto this Nana. I really hope that he takes the Nana out first instead of going after this Masha.
Oh, I love watching Gurkha operate. It's such a joy to see those provokes go off, and watching a unit proc into healing him further is so satisfying.
Ooh, if he got that Despair Stun on top, any of those Despair Stuns on top of the Oliver, maybe something was able to happen here, but that's a nice kill right there on top of the Masha. We're going to see the attack bar pushback go back onto the Nana. Additional turn's going to be popping out here, goes after that Robo, and that is definitely going to be game right there, because I do not see any of these units taking down this Gurkha.
Absolutely not. Gurkha is going to take this team to go, and what is so interesting here is that L&D Monster basically took what FH started earlier today. Like, FH started with a team that totally controls cooldown times and controls what they're doing, and L&D Monster took that and said, that's a great idea, I'm going to draft the same thing against you, but with my own flair.
Yep, exactly. I mean, the Veronica was a surprise pick, L&D coming out of FH. Well, the Gurkha was a surprise pick coming out of L&D Monster.
I keep wanting to throw an ampersand in the middle so it's F and H and L and D. There we go. Wow, Gurkha. Heavens to Betsy, dude. What a Gurkha showcase. Very, very fun here. I
nice
think
little counters right there, though.
there is a chance that Juno could maybe like do some work here, but I ultimately think that Praha's involvement in this encounter is still going to shift it towards L&D, especially with that. There it is. That's game.
Yep, that is game right there. L&D Monster is able to take round 2 away from FH.
Oh, so Gurkha actually slips through.
That's very interesting to see the Gurkha slip through there, because the Yanhong wasn't something extremely impactful coming out of L&D Monster. Yanhong offers a lot of things, make a lot of teams like work, which is great. But I think Gurkha was something that you just don't want to have to deal with. But he's going to let that through, and we'll see what he does here, because he's definitely going to be preparing. He doesn't want that Gurkha to do exactly what it did in that match before.
Yeah, we'll see what he ends up doing, because I think maybe what FH has the opportunity to do here is pick some units that disincentivize L&D Monster from picking a Gurkha to begin with. But there is something to be unpacked there, Stoic, because I think in that first round, FNH banned the Yanhong. So there's definitely some sort of personal vendetta there against against the Light Jasoon.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But we'll see what happens here. I do like that L&D Monster took that Water Ryu before, because that was pre-banned here. He knew how fast or how important that speed lead was. Taking that away here, we're going to see the Veronica, and a new speed lead's going to come to the table in the form of Tableau, though.
I love the Tableau pick. Let's see if he ends up locking it in. He's still considering it. Maybe, yep, matches the speed lead with the Tableau and has a nice third skill available, as well as a whole bunch of other tools at his disposal because of it.
Yeah, definitely. We could see a lot of debuffs coming out from Shizuka. All the things that Tableau can lay in on the field is devastating if it happens.
Very much so. I can't wait to see this Veronica do some work if it actually makes it in the draft. L&D Monster presenting another strip option. We know that L&D Monster does not like to be caught without at least 3 strip options into a Light Monkey. That's just something that he doesn't do.
Yeah, the Triton right there is definitely signaling he is respecting the speed of that Veronica.
Big time. 116 versus 104, 105, I think, for Veronica, thereabouts.
I wish I had those stats on hand. I'm very unsure. We're seeing a Molly, though, coming out for FN, and then a Diana. I feel like he's assuming that his speed lead's going to get let through, and he has to ban out the Water Ryu to make sure that L&D Monster is going to be taking turn 1, but it's really tough to beat the speed of that Triton.
Yeah, big time. Like, I think he's really banking on taking turn 1, and I think he's also trying to make an assumption that Veronica is going to be let through, or he could be signaling a Light Monkey ban. That's the other thing that I'm thinking, because if I think that actually might be the safest play right now, because Light Monkey is just going to be super oppressive. So will Dom, but for different reasons.
Yeah, definitely. It might be a ban of speed leads, and then like L&D Monster knows that his Triton's going to be faster than the Veronica, so assuming speed leads are what's going to get banned out here.
And just have a fair game of let's have a rune check here. Who's actually got the fastest speeds? Although I think Triton's going to get more mileage out of that. So it looks like FH does in fact go for what I would consider the safe play here in banning the Light Monkey King.
Yep, Light Monkey King Molly are going to be the bans out here. Speed leads for both players. Let's see how fast this Veronica actually is. I would definitely assume L&D Monster should take first turn here in this round 3 bout. And it is. Triton's kicking things off.
So close! Oh, and the Assault on the Wound is just the silence instead of the strip. That's great. Love
Yep,
that.
I definitely
so now
like
she
that
can
decision to
handle
go for the silence instead. That was a very, very good idea here because he's got the strip available with Water Ryu and the Gianna, of course.
Yeah, and what's great about that too is that like if Tableau somehow doesn't end up stunned after this Gianna takes a turn, then the skill 3 will not let Veronica use that third skill still.
Yep. Oh no!
Oh,
Stun on top of the Tableau and the additional turn coming out of Shizuka.
I manifested it. It's like I manifested
It's so unfortunate. It's a nice additional turn coming out of the Dominic, though. Dominic looking to do something here, and hopefully that'll be enough damage to help take out that Diana. I don't know if that's going to work out that well, because the shield is going to be coming up for FH here.
Wow. Yeah, that is that's a strong, that is, okay. Wow. Yeah, that was a pretty strong pivot. Their FH is suddenly looking pretty strong. Here comes a very perfectly timed skill 3, allowing Veronica to make full use of all of her skills now that she's out of silence. Opts to go for skill 2 to funnel in more damage, applying so many dots.
Yep, needed to get the strip there. Bomb does detonate on top of Diana. Diana's still alive, but Dominic looking to remove that unit from the field. Does finish up. Nice little additional turn here. I think he has to beeline that Veronica, because it has that third skill available.
Yeah, Veronica's going to have to do a little bit of work here because that Dom is looking quite awkward in the face of this. Let's see how much she can do. Not a whole lot. Can Shizuka revive into the kill on Dominic? Or stun even? Yes, there's the kill on Dominic, and all of a sudden FH is back to looking just peachy.
Just peachy indeed. Big second skill going out there. There you have it! FH taking round 3 away from LD Monster. Yeah, I think L&D Monster didn't do anything wrong. Everything was fine until that Shizuka Violent procced out and was able to throw down that third skill, which just totally put him back there. Not at all what he needed to see. That put L&D Monster in really rough shape, essentially making him lose that bout there.
Yeah, I think, you know, the Violent proc facilitated the third skill to come down, but I ultimately do think that it comes down to a lack of preparation for the Shizuka when you're letting it through. That's the thing, though, right? Because it's like, he's making an active decision to let that Shizuka through, knowing full well what he's leaving himself open to. Because, again, notably, it's all very aggressive from L&D Monster. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you do forego immunity.
Yeah, he was not able to stop any of the anything happening from Shizuka. Once units were going to be dropping, how do you still deal with everything from Shizuka's doing? He has the silence available with the Triton. That was kind of all he had here. And that's, I think, why he's going to be taking the Shizuka as a first pick here.
Yeah, because he still doesn't want to draft the immunity. That's what I'm on this. I will be up on this hill for a while. I think that there is, you know, the Violent proc facilitated, but there is improper preparation. Man. There we go. Yan
Look
Hong,
at the shifts here.
Yeah, look at, isn't this interesting, Stoic? He's stealing the Tableau, he's stealing the Shizuka.
Yeah, well, we're seeing turn 1 play. I'm sorry, turn 1 play or turn 2 play. It's turn 2 play instead of turn 1 play coming at FH when Oliver and then Gianna signaling turn 1 swaps to Nana and Leo, which is, you know what? Technically turn 1. Leo still goes first.
Leo, yeah, very, very much goes first. Isis and Tessa to wrap it up. Look at that. Look at the value that you could potentially get from the Isis.
Yeah, that's value indeed there. I do like L&D Monster's draft here, and that is definitely banned. There's no way the Lulu's going through here. He did not want to see it.
That's definitely the ban. 100. It's got to be, right? It has to be.
It has got to be the ban.
He didn't draft any strips, right? So if that Lulu goes, it's gonna be pretty tough here.
Well, what we're going to see here is L&D Monster doing everything he can to control that Lulu from not popping off, but we'll figure this one out, guys. This is game 4 in the quarterfinals with LD Monster and FH.
Stoic, this is match point right now for FH, the newcomer to SWC. No career in the player profile as of yet. They are making their statement right here, right now. We're going to have to see how these turns unfold because the attack bars are so full, and I was unable to tell if there was a distance between. Who's going to go first?
Gets Despair stun on top of the Yan Hong. Oliver gets the reset. Here comes the immunity up here, and there's nothing that this Isis can do about it, except a skill 2.
No, you got the skill 2, but you know, realistically, it might be a drop in the bucket. Let's see, nice sleep coming out on the Leo. He can do it if he wants.
Yeah, Leo, he wants to try and take care of right now, but first skill's going out on top of the Oliver. No additional turns coming out with dice rolling.
That was a very malicious play against that Leo in particular. Like that was.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a lot of built-up rage, but particularly at Leo, just to burn that skill 3 for a dot and attack break, and not a whole lot of impact here. Okay, Isis, just going for the attack break on Oliver. Actually, pretty decent play there because they're going to be able to
Tablo getting a little bit of
back.
value there.
Yeah.
Stuns are coming out. Skill 2 has got to go on to the Yanhong. He needs to get the cooldowns back. He needs to get a charge vitality again. You're going to see this beeline. I think he's still going to take the Yanhong out here with the Leo. Does so. It's going to be coming back here. Potential despair stun again coming out onto Gianna. Oh, sorry, Yanhong.
And that was in the most convenient way possible for FH as well, considering that she died to the dot. So that means that she had to skip her turn. So like L&D Monster did not get the value from it.
All right, chooses to use that third skill with a Leo on the field, and we've got oh, I'm sorry, the Oblivion was there, so it doesn't even matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the Oblivion is on. I almost missed it too because you're not used to seeing Isis in games.
I'm not
most
seeing
of the time.
Isis at all, so Isis finally getting value here with the Oblivion on top of the Leo, which is great. Perfect time for this Tablo to finally work his way through in a Leo draft.
Man, dying to the dot there was so huge, actually, because that meant L&D Monster could not use any skills from Yanhong, and is just going to keep her down. But that doesn't mean she's out necessarily because of Shizuka's second skill.
Yep, that is right. A little bit of poke damage going towards the Nana, going towards the Lulu. Nana looking for Despair Stuns, not getting anything here. Oliver, a little bit of attack bar pushback. I think he needs to potentially get rid of this Oliver first. Oliver's going to be doing a little bit too much to light L&D Monster's team.
Right, and focusing down Tablo here, I personally have a little bit more concern for the Shizuka, if I'm being honest, just because I think that she's got the biggest chance to kind of turn the game around, but no matter which way they go with the revives, L&D Monster, that is, they're not going to have, like, that burst potential, so...
Yep, goes for the charge vitality. Only second skill is going to be available for the Tablo here. He gets to keep the attack break up. Going for the attack break onto the Oliver this time. Any Despair Stuns coming out of Nana. Does get a Despair Stun on top of the Isis. And there's the resets going back onto Shizuka. FH looking so good right here.
So good. I can't believe the Lulu made it through, Stoic. Like, that is such a... We'd been foreshadowing this as we were talking through the matches before, how the players didn't want to draft that immunity, and as soon as it came in, it just changed the game. Here comes Isis, laying down the second, third skill of the game.
Yep, second, third skills coming out. Lots of Oblivions being applied to the field. Not being applied on top of this Leo, though. Leo was saved by the immunity. Brought to the field, of course, by this Lulu.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word, Stoic. I think this is going pretty well for FH.
That Lulu pick was absolutely devastating as a last pick there. I stand by that potentially being the ban there. And you know what? FH wins it. Takes the third win in round 4 away from L&D Monster. A well-deserved victory for the newcomer.